Hello and welcome back to iCentral TV. My name is Erin Wides, and today I got to talk to some folks and they reflected on 9/11, shared their insights, shared where they were, and kind of how to move past times of tragedy. So Charlie, can you tell me a little bit about where you were and what you remember from 9/11?
Sure. Well, on 9/11, I was in third grade. And, I was on the East Coast, and I can remember about 9 o'clock, our teacher coming in with a kind of somber look on her face and just explained a terrible event had occurred in New York.
I worked at Whiteman Air Force Base at the time, and probably the biggest thing that happened is, they locked down the base immediately, and we were confined to our offices, and every TV that was available was on.
From 9/11, I was about 5 when it happened, 5 or 6, so kindergarten. And when I first learned about it, I was in third grade, so 9 or 10 years old. And I actually thought that it happened when I was in third grade. So I was pretty confused at that time. And I remember thinking, planes hit a building in third grade. I remember thinking I'm going to get pulled out of school, everything like that. But that was because our teacher was showing us videos online. So our whole class was panicking, and we were thinking we're going to get pulled out of school, everything like that. And then when I was around, things were really messed up for me. I was really scared and everything like that. So when I was in about 7th grade, I actually really figured out I was 5 when this situation happened.
And my teacher told us in class that something had happened, but that if we wanted to know more about it, we should ask our parents and that they would fill us in. So I went home and we asked my dad, and he said that something bad had happened, but that we didn't need to worry, that we were fine in the middle of the United States, and that it was just kind of a scary thing, but that we had to move past it.
I saw this plane in a building. I'm like, is this a joke? Well, then started seeing all the news reports, and then I started watching it. But I do know it affected a lot of businesses because they closed up. They were afraid to use your facility because, we were all afraid of the money, what was going to happen.
Put a very somber mood on the day, and as the events unfolded, it really became a rallying point for all of us to kind of pull together and start the grieving process, understanding that thousands of people, their lives had been affected, not only in New York, but in Washington, D.C., and then later, as it was determined that a flight went down in a Pennsylvania field. Those attacks really, that day is engraved on my mind as many others are.
And then kind of just moving on from 9/11, or not even that, but just like tragic events that are happening, how do you personally witness or continue to, move on positively and keep faith in humanity?
The way that I handle it is that, so after I graduate, my goal is that I want to do Doctors Across Borders for 2 years. And I would like to live in Africa and help out there. That's my way of saying that I want to help out humanity and do things for the better.
You just got to have the faith that there are good people out there that will do the right thing. I mean, there's definitely the people who aren't good people, but also that you just got to have the faith that the good people will pull in other people and be able to transfer and everybody move forward with events.
I mean, we've seen in recent events in Texas with Harvey, of just these great acts of heroism, coming out of nowhere for helping strangers and helping your fellow man. And I'm sure with events all over the world that this happens, and you just got to keep faith that it's always going to be goodness that will prevail over evil.
I mean, I think Mr. Rogers said something like you just have to look for the helpers, that these situations can often bring out the best in people as well, because there's people who are going to run into the fire rather than out, and it sort of shows how we're all connected and that there are people willing to do what they can to help each other out.
We really should keep a sense of hope that things will get better, and this doomsday scenario that a lot of people talk about or think about. I've always been kind of a positive person, and I really hope that the future leaders, yourself and your classmates here at the university, can view it as a brighter future ahead.